What's going on, guys? It's Doss. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another real world review car update, whatever you want to call it, right? Where I pretty much just walk around and tell you guys my real life ownership experience about the cars that I have. And this one right here is no exception, right? This is definitely a carrier on this channel because you guys are interested in this right here. This is my 2005 Ford Taurus SEL right here. I bought it back in March with 106,000 miles. Now it's just sitting, it's got 119,000 miles. It's pretty much a DoorDasher, daily driver, a grinder, all that good stuff. Even though I don't really necessarily use it for DoorDash anymore, because, you know, I picked up another hustle or whatever the case was. But anyway, the point is this car is meant to be a workhorse, right? And it's definitely done just that, along with maintenance and everything that I'm going to go over. So obviously I'm going to walk through a full walk around, tell you guys everything I've done to this car. It's giving me any problems, and let's get right into the video. So the first thing, obviously, as I said in the last video, if you guys remember, or if you just new to this channel, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so 4 new tires all the way around. They were, the previous owner, as I was looking at it, said they were new, which I believed it for the most part. And then when, you know, I had to change the starter, I noticed one of these tires, I think it was the front driver's tire, had some wiring sticking out. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just replace all 4 of them. So all 4 new tires are brand new, courtesy to me. The tint, the legal, is on these 2 windows right here, and then there's 5% right there. New headlights and taillights, because one of these taillights had a crack in it. I think it was this one, had a crack in it, water was leaking in there. And headlights also, this is actually the second pair of headlights I put on here because of the accident right here. So basically, pretty much, long story short, what happened was, you know, somebody thought they were entitled just because they had their turn signal on. They were just gonna merge, they're just gonna push their way over, and well, you know, collided a little bit. So this car actually had the least amount of damage right here. So pretty much I've been working on it myself. I do have the bumper already, the replacement bumper. Yeah, so when I put the new parts on, you know, have them painted, and should be good to go. I'll probably actually like put the hail effect right here on the fender too, so it'll look like it was already there. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened right there. You know, not too bad, you know, didn't really shift the hood or anything like that. It's still even, especially on the other side, it's still even. So yeah, just the fender and the bumper and the headlight pretty much. And then also that little piece right there is a little messed up too. I have that piece as well, but I already broke it. So, you know, and not even, I already broke the new piece, but I'll probably still put it on there anyway. But anyway, so yeah, that's that right there. This whole section right here, we got past that. Cracked windshield right here. You know, I'm just on this 2-lane road, and one of those trucks with the open rock trailers or whatever, you just see this asteroid just right there on the windshield, right? So it's been kind of spidering ever since, kind of doing its little thing. I thought about replacing it. I'm like, nah, shouldn't be that much, but I think I'm gonna just leave it because I know as soon as I replace it, it's gonna get hit with another asteroid again. So we're just gonna leave that right there, just like that for now. What else on the outside? We're going on the outside, everything I replaced in here. And that's pretty much it. You know, headlights, taillights, tint, and then, you know, that side of the car right there with the damage, and then the tires. So we'll move on to the inside real quick. By the way, I love this feature from Ford. If you have a Ford with this, my Ranger doesn't even have this, but if you have a Ford with this feature, this thing, it's nice because, like with this car, I could just leave the key in the ignition, leave it running, pop, lock it just like that, and then bam, just go on inside real quick, come back out, the car's still running, and you're good to go. So I love that feature. I love that keypad feature right there on the Ford. Also, something cool about this car, since we're talking about features I like about this, it's a nice little puddle light right there, and it's pretty bright too. I actually like that. I'm gonna put some LEDs in there. They're still halogen right now at the moment. Also this right here too, this was a larger gap, and I tried to glue it a little bit, and that's all that was. It was actually kind of like hanging a little bit lower, so I tried to glue it, and it hasn't moved since, so that's pretty good. Also love these wheels. These wheels are nice. These are the nicest Taurus wheels I've ever seen, man. I like these better than those little retro wheels that you can see on the 2003 and the 2 joints. I think these are much better right here, even though this car is not really fully optioned, obviously, because it doesn't have a sunroof. Like, they came with sunroof spoilers. I don't know about fog lights, but they did have leather inside too. This car doesn't have any of that, which is fine because I'm not a fan of leather anyway. It gets cold, it gets really hot, all that good stuff. I'd rather just have the nice cloth. Let's get up inside real quick, put the door code in, don't want y'all to see that. Bam. So inside, obviously, this is a Doss dedicated car, so it's gonna be as clean as ever, right? Bam, look at the inside right here. It's just about as clean as you could possibly think it would be, especially for a 2005. This thing is sitting nice and sparkly. Just vacuumed it a little bit, you know. Don't really do it all the time like how I used to, but they stay as clean as I can possibly keep them at the time. Even though this is a workhorse, you can see it's still clean. Now let's take a look at the interior of this car real quick. You get in here and your first notice, this is not your average sedan setup. That's because this is not your average sedan. Obviously it's a 2005, but not only that, it's because it's got your column shifter right here on the back of the steering wheel. I love this right here. You see most pretty much all trucks have this now. Well, except for, most trucks have this now. I love this right here. It feels like you're driving a truck. You got this right here. This is how you just put your foot on the brake and then, just like that. And then you got your center console. You don't have your center console. I hate center consoles in any car, but obviously sedans typically have it, SUVs and stuff like that. I like this right here, a bench seat, even though this is the most uncomfortable, most thinnest seat. So you're sitting right here, you're gonna have each cheek. So this is really just gonna be supporting nothing pretty much. But I love this right here. You got extra space, bam, just like that. Check it out right up in there. Extra space. This is a bunch of receipts, bunch of gas receipts right here. And then bam, right there, in case you need a cup holder or whatever it is, there you go right there. You can stop bitching. And then bam, just like that. I like this because it was really handy with DoorDash orders, just right there, just like that. You don't have no ugly center console that'll eventually get dirty and start to crack because it's made out of plastic, all that bullshit. Bam, just check it out right here. You just nice and clean space. I like this right here. And I wish more modern sedans offered this right here. I also wish a lot of vehicles offered the vinyl flooring, but you'll probably never see that again, only in work trucks or whatever. Bam, check it out right here. You got your nice setup right here. This is a major upgrade. This car right here, the previous Taurus before this was ugly. Like the one that had the individual headlights, that thing was hideous, and I'm glad they actually kind of updated it to make it look like a more of a fish. This car looks more like a fish. And that also came along with the interior as well, has been kind of redesigned as well for 2000 to 2007. Climate control right here, nice and simple. Bam, right here you got your cigarette lighter, and then you got your charging port right there, 12-volt outlet right there, storage right here, and then bam, just like that, you got your nice little change right there if you want to store anything right there as well. And then bam, check it out right here. This was already in here from the previous owner. It's pretty cool, really handy. The stereo system sounds nice in this car. It's just the driver speaker right here is blown out. But that's cool though. We'll definitely take care of that. Probably make a video as well. Nice little stereo though. It's very handy. Bluetooth. You can charge it if you want. Charge your phone, whatever. CDs, whatever the case is. Doesn't have a lockable glove box. Bam. Check it out right there. Some stuff in here. Some plastic parts that fell off over time or whatever. But really nice, really nice. So really, I didn't do anything in this interior other than clean it. That's it. I don't do anything. Everything in here is pretty nice. Take a look at the back seat real quick. Everything is all nice. I do like the gray color too. It's a nice little, we can just go ahead and hit that right there. Check it out right there. This is the rear. Don't really have too many people sitting back here very often, but it's clean, of course. This is the only speck of rust that you'll find on this car, period. I'm talking about underneath, and as far as the exterior goes, this is the only little spot right here. This little bubbly part right here. Got a little bit of residue going on right there. Speaking of, since we're right here, down here by this panel, this rear quarter panel, check it out right here, drum brakes. This car has a lot of similarities to my other two Fords that I have, 07 F-150 and 04 Ranger. Now, it's got a lot of similarities right here because we're looking at a drum brake, which is the same setup as the Ford Ranger. Got the drum brakes in the rear and the disc in the front. F-150 has disc all around, thankfully. Right, so bam, let's check it out right here. The back of the center console, you got these little weird cup holders that come out looking like this. Some of that right there, right? Check it out, good to go. Bam, chilling, just like that, right? It's your little privacy in case you're getting chauffeured and you want more privacy than that. You can flip that right there. Tons of storage right here. I usually carry like some plastic forks and the silverware, and also we got some gloves in there and a couple bottles right there chilling. And then bam, right here. So this is typically where the magic happens, because a lot of times I had to cut out the routine of just going home every day and doing all this stuff. It's kind of a waste if you want to be efficient with the grind, right? So bam, what I typically do is lay out right here, fold this down, right? So yeah, pretty much there's a sleeping bag right there. So you pretty much get the rest. I just fold it down, pop, and you chilling right there just like that, right? Nice and comfortable. Bam, sunshade, throw that on. You got 5% all the way around pretty much. Put the sunshade right there, and you got a nice dark little cocoon, right? Chilling right there just like that. If you want it even thicker, pop, just like that. You want even wider bed, there you go like that. So yeah, really didn't do anything inside the interior, just kept it all nice and stock. Now, funny thing about that, I love cars that have that feature right there where you can flip that down. where you can flip the back seats down and everything, put larger items or whatever the case. The Crown, I thought about getting a Mercury Marquise or a Crown Victoria. Can't do that in those cars for some reason because they got that big spare tire that's sitting right there behind that seat, and it's like, oh man, bro. Still a nice car though, so I'll probably still get one anyway. Spoiler alert on that. Anyway, so what else we got? The trunk is full of crap. I'm not even gonna open it. It's nice. Did come with. They did have the spare and all that stuff still in there as well. So yeah, we're not even gonna open that. But it's fine. Still fine. Gas mileage, I don't even know. I mean, typically if I do. If it's like a day off for me, which I don't know, I'll probably use like half a tank. I don't know if that's good and bad or not. I think it's a 14-gallon tank, 14-gallon tank, and it drinks gas. It definitely drinks gas. The same motor as in my 04 Ford Ranger, which I'll do a walk around video of that eventually as well. Just, gotta find the time. So let's talk about the mechanical issues of this car really quick because I'm kind of stalling a little bit. I think that's what we're on to next, right? So the mechanical issues. Since we're already right here on the back of the car, I'm sure eventually, sometime soon, those rear struts are going to need to be replaced because this car probably has a lot of DNA related to the Grand Marquis and the Crown Victoria. And a lot of these older Ford sedans just typically start to sag no matter how many miles they have. They'll just over time just start to sag in the back like that. And that's why you can see this one is looking pretty low, right? Especially towards the front wheel right there. So let's go ahead and open up the hood real quick. So I obviously haven't replaced those rear struts yet, but in order to do it, you have to take the rear seat off, the majority of the rear seat off. That's gonna be extremely annoying. I already know, but I'm gonna do it myself though, because you already know it's content. Let's open up the hood real quick and explain everything that's been going on down here. So this obviously hasn't been an angel of a car, right? And we're gonna talk about what happened. So pretty much everything has been going typically smooth for the most part. It's a new battery had to be replaced, and then pretty much the majority of the stuff over here. So I used to DoorDash with this car a lot, and I'd leave it idling thanks to the convenient keypad on the driver's door. I would just leave it idle. Long story short, right, is that this car has always had some type of rattling noise coming from this area right here. When I bought it from the previous owner, right here, it was like a nice little rattling noise. Long story short, it was the clutch on the front of the AC compressor that got stuck, and it eventually ripped the belt off that day, and it got stuck and it wouldn't move anymore. So so it's a brand new AC compressor right there, and also a brand new alternator because it pretty much killed the charging system. When I was driving it like that, it was just, it was messing everything up. So yeah, that was, it was still drivable without the belt, obviously, but new belt, new AC compressor, and a new alternator as well, new battery right there. And then the most recent, I think I had like 3 oil changes on this already. The most recent repair was there was a huge leak coming from down underneath this part of the car right here. It turns out that apparently the transmission fluid and the transmission fluid and the power steering fluid is the same, because that leak was huge, right? And it was red fluid, smelled just like power steering fluid. When you open up the power steering reservoir, see, look, it's still low, but the leak is fixed. But when you would open up the power steering reservoir, you see how low it got right there. The transmission was losing the same fluid that you find right in the power steering. So it's the same as the power steering fluid. I didn't know that. I don't know if it's only for this car. Maybe it's the same for the Ranger. I'll find out. But it's the same for, both the transmission and the power steering. So it was losing fluid, and that's why it was jerking like that. It was just low on fluid. Now the car is running as smooth as ever. There's no problems and nothing like that. But yeah, that was pretty much the problem. So it was the main seal for the bottom of the transmission and the coolant line. It was leaking like crazy, man. It was dropping like gallons a day. So that's eventually what happened. The transmission got low on fluid, and it started doing that jerking action, like it was getting ready to blow up. And thankfully I got into it in time. And I already did that video where I took off the drain pan to see if there was any chunks of metal. Everything was good. Didn't see any chunks of metal, nothing like that. So hopefully we didn't do too much damage to the transmission. See, we're just gonna leave that in the video. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much it as far as the cosmetics go. I'm walking around looking one more time, see if this hail damage was already here on this car. Yeah, and this right here, a lot of this These cars don't, the paint, especially on the back of these cars, don't really hold up too well. So, you know, you got a little bit of that going on right there as well. But the Taurus SEL though, so, you know, still missing a couple of options, the spoiler, and, you know, I think they came with sunroofs as well. This is also, the cousin of this car is obviously the Mercury Sable, which is a nice car as well. It's pretty much the same thing, just rebadged, different headlights and taillights and different sheet metal. Yeah, appreciate the support on these videos right here. Obviously keep it up for you guys. I got more Fords for you as well too. And you know, the cash cars is where it's at, man. The cash cars, don't be afraid to, you know, look for you a cash car. You know, just don't get ripped off at the end of the day. I mean, you can get a cash car, you're not gonna get ripped off anywhere near as if you would go to a dealership and sell your cars privately like that too. Don't do no business with any dealership ever, because they're not gonna give you anything, bruh. Just stop going to like that dealership right there. You see that GMC right there? Just stop doing business with like an actual legit dealership like that, because they're gonna rip you off one way or another, bro. You ain't gonna get 100% good deal, 360 good deal all the way around. Also too, I just noticed this car, yeah, this engine bay is clean as hell. I keep my engine bays like this. It is clean. You could pretty much eat off of it as well. You know, I kind of dust it off every now and then and everything, but it was dirty. You couldn't even, it looked like it's been through a bath of this stuff when I first got it. So, but yeah, it's clean. You know, I dust it off, make sure it's all good to go whenever I do, when you know, but yeah, I almost forgot too, the starter as well. Speaking of cleaning the engine bay, so I just put a little mist on the engine bay when I was first cleaning it, when I first got the car. And I guess the starter was so old that little mist just ruined the old starter. So that's a new starter down in there too, I forgot. Because I remember I mentioned that I saw wiring in the tire. That's as I was replacing the starter, right? Because the starter went out because I was cleaning the engine bay, and a little bit of mist and the starter just done. So yeah, and then I noticed that I had some wiring coming out. I was like, yeah, she lied. These tires aren't new. So let me go ahead and get all four all the way around. So yeah, so the starter, new starter, new alternator, new AC compressor, new belt right here, new battery, new tint, new tires, and then new fender, new bumper, new headlights, new taillights. So yeah, I'm pretty much, you can pretty much already assume I've spent more money on this car than I actually paid for it. But I believe it's still got a lot of life left, and you guys are obviously going to be on this journey with me if these early 2000s Ford Tauruses are good or not. I mean, we're gonna find out together, you know, even though you got nothing to do with this car, right? So you're just pretty much just enjoying the content, and that's fine, you know, because I gotta be the lab rat, the test rat for the good content, and you know this channel is dedicated and it's gonna keep going too. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video right here, man. This is pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. It's another walk around of my 2005 Ford Taurus cash car grinder, daily driver, buster, whatever you want to call it. And you know, just stay tuned for more content like this, because you already know. And that's it. I'm gonna use my old outro real quick. And that's it.